Nectar Sweet says, can you explain what go bananas means? So I'll explain what it means, and then I will give a few examples, ways we can use it, and maybe a sense of the level of formality, right? So what does it mean, basically? What's the basic meaning of go bananas? Well, go bananas means that you don't control yourself. You don't take care of your actions, right? And usually it's a specific area. If it's maybe in a candy store and there's a kid in a candy store, what do you imagine? He's running around grabbing chocolate, and he's grabbing gummy bears, and he's grabbing all kinds of things, putting them in a bag, right? He is doing exactly what he wants to do in the candy store, right? And when he asked his mom, hey, Mom, can I get whatever I want? She said to him, instead of, oh, you can only have 2 things, she said to him, yeah, go bananas. Go bananas means just do whatever you want. Basically, the meaning is go crazy, but not go crazy like become insane, but more like go crazy in doing whatever you want. Indulge yourself completely. That's the basic idea, okay? Now, some people do use go bananas to mean go completely crazy. Some people. But generally, it's more focused on the feeling of going crazy in a particular area in a controlled situation, right? And often when you want to lose control, then you go bananas. So it's not usually a negative connotation. It's usually a positive connotation. It's also not formal. It's a very casual, relaxed expression, right? And it has to be plural. You can't say go banana. You can't say throw banana. You can't change it at all. It has to be go bananas. Or if it's in the past, you could say went bananas, right? And we often will add on after it. I really went bananas on maybe a project that I'm working on. I worked 22 hours a day for 6 days in a row. I didn't stop. I was working like crazy. I went totally bananas, right? That would be a way that we could use it. Some people will use it like that. Some people use go bananas as a suggestion for what to do, right? Yeah, when you get there, just go bananas. Do whatever you want to do. Sort of like the mom in the candy store, right? That's how a lot of people choose to use it. It feels like I'm now giving you permission to be crazy and do exactly what you want to do. That doesn't mean take out a gun and start shooting things, but it does mean that you can not control yourself in some way. Go bananas. Let's look at the examples we've got. I'll end up going bananas if I have to work in this cubicle for 1 more day. So that's more the meaning of crazy. That's more the meaning of actually becoming crazy, right? I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to go nuts if I have to do this for 1 more day. The kids are going to go bananas when we tell them about the trip. Now, does that mean that the kids will actually become crazy in the sense of losing their minds? Is it the same as going bananas because of work? No, it's totally different. The kids going bananas means they're so excited. They're going to go crazy with excitement, almost like the kid in the candy store example, right? Go crazy with excitement and do what you want to do because of a good thing. But the other one is a negative one. She sobbed and howled. The audience went bananas. Okay, now that one might sound weird, but when the audience goes bananas, then they're talking about the way that they cheer and clap. They're so into it that they're just, they're clapping and shouting and cheering without control. So they haven't actually lost their minds, but we use it to show that sort of thing. But again, it is often in a more controlled environment. I don't often see this one used to mean that someone has actually gone crazy or lost their mind in general, then we would say something like, he lost his mind, right? He lost his mind. That's a very common expression. A casual way to say it would be, he went nuts. He went nuts. And we can use nuts, went nuts, go nuts, sometimes in a similar way to go bananas. He went nuts in the candy store. Okay, we understand that. But generally speaking, go nuts or went nuts can have a lot of different meanings. And we don't need to talk about that now. The feeling of go bananas is, here's the limitation. It's inside the candy store. It's the audience clapping. It's the person in their workplace. Those are the limits. So we're not talking about this person completely going crazy and going into a mental institution. We're talking about a situation and a kind of behavior of giving up your control or of losing something that you had before in that situation. What does the kid in the candy store lose? His restraint. He can run around and grab whatever he wants and put it in a bag. Whatever, because his mom said, yeah, go bananas. That's a positive thing. The person in the workplace who's going bananas because she's working too much, well, that's a negative thing. But it's in the workplace. It's about her job. When the kids find out about the trip, what does that mean? Well, they lose control of their emotions. They're so happy. Blah! They run around screaming. Okay? The audience going bananas? Clapping uncontrollably. They're not running around screaming. That would be, I don't know what that would be, but that would be completely losing their minds, right? And sometimes we do use losing their minds for the clapping situation too, and going nuts for the clapping situation too. It's very contextual. But going bananas doesn't require us to say, oh, it's only for this situation, because going bananas is usually used for that kind of situation. There already is a limit because of the situation that it's used in. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about this or similar expressions, another big one would be go nuts, which would be an expression to look up. Another big one would be go crazy, which is another expression to look up. Both of those are extremely common as well. Again, go bananas is common. It's always informal. It's always casual. And I would recommend you go to the free dictionary and look at more examples. Then if you want to try to practice it, make your own examples. That's a good way to practice. Okay. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and also check out my full courses in the links in the description. Good question.